Hey everybody, Laggimus Prime here. I know it's been a while, but today I just won our local Evo Cup with Imperial-Dramon. Now I like to call this deck Imperial-Toolbox because you're kind of running almost all different kinds of Imperial pieces in all of the colors in order to get and choose what you need for each situation, kind of like Greymon Toolbox. So let's take a look and see. For our eggs, we run the brand new BT16 Minimon. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, if this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain a memory. In my version, you're going to be running more of the Wormmons, so having this as your egg is a lot better than Demi-Vmon, and I feel the memory gain is a bit better in terms of just having a small DP boost. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, on to the level 3s. I do see a lot of people not running this Digimon as much. It is a Vmon from the BT12. Usually more people run Wormmon, but I feel like having both of them in this deck is a lot better than just having one or most of one or like 4 and then like 2. I run a max of these, so I have 4 Vmons of BT12 and 4 Wormmons of BT12. So they both do the same thing. Reveal top card, 3 cards of your deck, and then you add a Imperial or free and trade. Vmon will also add you a Devas, and Wormmon will add you a Ken. So I like to run the Vmon more because most of the Tamers in this deck are Devas. So hitting 2 ofs with this happens a lot more often than you would with Wormmon, which would just bottom deck the Devas. Then end of turn, they both have the same thing, and they're heritables. You DNA, which is what you're going to be doing a lot. Now on to the newer cards. We run 3 of the BT16 Wormmon and 2 of the BT16 Vmon. I like to only run fewer of these because you need more searching power in this deck, and having 8 searches are a lot better than having barely any at all. I used to run these both at 4 of, but they were not helping out at all. I run more Wormmon because I run more of a Wormmon base than a Vmon base. So starting your main phase on play, if it's your turn, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a level 4 Digimon card with the Insectoid or free trait in your trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. So he's able to get you back into your level 4s even if they've been put in trash. Inheritable, when attacking once per turn, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Vmon, your turn once per turn, when one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves, if it has the free trait or is green, you gain a memory. And the inheritable is a DP buff. So both of these are very good, but if I am having an opening hand, I want to see more of these. Having this is pretty good. I would rather have Wormmon than Vmon because Vmon has to Digivolve for 1 on top of your egg. But what I like to do is I like to Evo in the back into a Wormmon and then play my searchers. Or if anything, I'll hold on to the Wormmon and Vmon until late game when I don't need my search potential, and I'll Evo these in the back and then play the searchers. But this is a great way to recover back from losing your stack. On to the level 4s. We run all the new BT16 level 4s that work with Imperial. So we run 4 of the Stingmon and 4 of the X-Vmon. I like to run both of these because, like I said, this is a toolbox kind of thing, so you're going to be running all the colors. You're going to run every single color, so that way you can do a whole bunch of shenanigans. So this one has an on play, and when Digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. It also has Retaliation. You'll Digivolve for 2 on top of Wormmons. If you go into a Vmon, it'll cost 3, but sometimes it's just what you have to do. X-Vmon, Digivolve for 2 on top of Vmons. It has Raid. On play and when Digivolving, one of your Digimon can't be deleted in battle until the end of your opponent's turn, and then this Digimon gets 2k DP for its inheritable. These are some of the better ones to play because you can get some early chip damage in with the X-Vmon by giving stuff jamming that can't be really deleted in battle, and Stingmon can help out a lot because you'll be, say you have Partition on one of your level 5s, you play out your level 4s, and hey, your guy that would have ended game, suspended now, you can't attack. So, that's the reason why I run them. Put him here. Put him here. Now, onto some of the other level 4s. I run 2 of the promo Shadramon. I used to have this at 4, but I noticed that there were way too many times where I would have too many purple and red cards, and I wouldn't have enough level 5s to DNA into, so I reduced this down to 2. And when Digivolving, you can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your trash, suspended without paying the cost. So hey, more search potential. Say you have a Vmon or a Wormmon here. So you have both of these on the field. You'd swing with the Vmon, do an early chip, it dies, Digivolve into Shade, play it back out, and hey, you have a end of turn DNA and a search that just happened. So as soon as you go into something, you can DNA. Inheritable on deletion, you can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your hand, suspended without paying the cost. So hey, even more stuff for Partition to help out with. And the other one I really like to play, now that just came out in BT16, is BT16 Togemogumon, or however you say it. Digivolves for 2 on top of a worm. It's great. All turns, once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top Digivolution card of one of their Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of their turn. I love to pair this up with the BT16 Stingmon, because say they hit you with Partition. Partition activates. You play this one first, then you play Stingmon, and hey, this all turns happens because you force one of their things to suspend. Fantastic. It is also blocker and armor purge. On to the level 5s. We run both of the BT16 Pyildramon and the BT16 Dino Beamon. Although we run 4 Pyildramons and only 3 Dino Beamons, because more than half the time you kind of want to go into Pyildramon. Its effect is a lot stronger than the Dino Beamons, but having Dino Beamon for that early rush and swing potential is great. So Pyildramon has Partition, blue and green level 4. When Digivolving, you suspend all of your opponent's Digimon that has as many or fewer Digivolution cards as he does, and then if DNAing, none of their Digimon can unsuspend until the end of the turn. I have locked down so many boards with this card. It's fantastic. When attacking once per turn, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, unsuspended Digimon, and then if it didn't suspend, you unsuspend them. So this is a good 2 checks that you can do. And if it dies in a security check, Partition, DNA again, then swing some more. I went 2-0 against Devas, Mirage Gao, and Blue Flare, and I had about 3, I think I had 2 Pyildramons and a Dino B in my hand, so I just swung with Pyildramon, it died from the second check, Partition, DNA again, swung 2 more times, it died, go into a Dino B, and then it just swung, it just kept going off like crazy. But for the spicy card, I do have one more level 5, one Chimeramon. This is a precautionary card, just in case you can't get one of your cards to DNA. Say you have 2 Shadramons or 2 XVs or 2 Stingmons. Well, Shade can go into Dino B. But either way, say you don't have the combination you need, you can just easily go into Chimera. Even the end of turn DNA will work because you're DNAing into something. And Chimeramon has the potential to reach 5 colors: white, red, blue, purple, and green. Not only that, Chimeramon can tuck one of these level 5s from your trash underneath him, so he will gain Partition. I love running Chimeramon in this deck. I kind of wish I could put it up to 2, but 1 is just enough because the amount of drawing and searching that you're doing, you will eventually end up with it in your hand. And then when Digivolving, up to 4 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1k for each of this Digimon colors until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's minus 5k to 4 bodies. And then on your turn, if he has 4 more colors, he gets 4k DP. So this goes from 8 to a 12. And if it has the Vmon under here, or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, if it goes to 12, it has the Vmon or XVmon, it can go up to 14 or 16. Like, it is, I love it. I love Chimeramon in this deck. Now, on to the level 6s. I know a lot of people run the Imperial Dragon mode that just came out in BT16. A lot of people run some of the older ones. For me, I feel the promo Imperial Dragon Mode Ace, or Imperial Digimon Dragon Mode Ace, is probably the better version, or at least the better version to play in this style of deck, because you are end of turn DNAing quite a lot. And there's a lot of cards that you can continuously play with this thing, not just Digimon, but Tamers, and you can keep combo off so much. So say you get into your end of turn into one of these, say you lock the board or you play a body. They decide to swing, you ace into it, suspend it, unsuspend it, and then you get to play whatever you want. You could play the Wormmon, you could play the Vmon, you can play any of these as searchers, you can play the Stingmon, the XV, the Shade, the Togu, anything to help you out in this game, especially the Stingmon, because then you can lock down a Digimon. And then when this Digimon becomes suspended, you may play a Tamer or a Digimon with 4k DP or less from your hand. So really, really helps out the deck quite a lot. Then we will go into another level 6. We run some of the old BT12 Imperial-Toolbox Fighter mode. 2 on top of a Dragon mode. When Digivolving, you suspend all Digimon with no Digivolution cards, then return one of your opponent's unsuspended to the hand. Then you can return one of your Dragon mode Dragon modes to the from this Digimon's Digivolution card to the hand, so you add it back to hand, which would give you -4. I don't use it that often. Mainly what I use this for is the second effect, but if you do return it to hand, you place all your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of their owner's decks instead. So if you do find some way to suspend their whole board and prevent them from unsuspending, and you just need to get rid of everything, you can do this if you want. Granted, you might pass turn, but if you have the memory setter out, then you're only giving them maybe one memory to try to build back from. But I usually main it just for the second effect, which is all turns. He gets 1k DP for each color in his Digivolution card, so it can get up to 4, potentially 5 with Chimera. And while it has 2 or more colors in its Digivolution cards, it gains Security Attack +1 and Blocker. I like the blocker part because I only have this as a blocker and a couple of other ways to suspend some stuff, so you can kind of survive a little bit, but if you really need the blocker, Fighter mode is there for you. And then we run the one of new BT16 Fighter mode Ace. I only run one of it because I don't want to run too many Ace cards, but I do run quite a few. So on play, when Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon to the bottom of the deck, so it kind of works in tandem with Pyodrimon's effect. Then end of attack, you unsuspend. Then if Imperial-Toolbox Drag mode is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. It's just another way to ace for free or be able to swing for game. It can really help out. I don't try to go into this too much, because if I go into this and this is like 8 memory I'll give my opponent if they find a way to out it. So I kind of try to decide which one do I want to go into more when I'm acing. But we have one final ace, a little spice card that I do see other people play in the deck, and it really works well. It is for Tamer hate, for all the Tamers that people can play. Grand Kuwagamon Ace. On play, when Digivolving, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Cards this effect suspended can't unsuspend during your opponent's next unsuspend phase. Then you delete one of their suspended Tamers. Works great in hybrid games. Works great in body or stuff going wide. It works really well in the deck, because it goes for on Dino B or a level 5 with Insect in trait or cost of 3. So Dino B, it works. It works with Pyodrimon because it's green. Yeah, it really is a nice little tech option to play. It is also searchable because it has free in trait. So just something to think about. Anyway, on to our Tamers. So I know a lot of people run 3 ofs and 4 ofs of this card, but I only run 2 because I feel like it is a great card to have, especially on the field. But the 4 cost to play it hurts. You can do quite a lot with it, and I understand. But sometimes I feel having the memory setter is a bit more important than having Devas and Ken. But they're good in their own rights. If you want to run it more, like for 3 of, maybe reduce something down and run it for 3 and 2, or increase your memory setters. You can change this as much as you want, but this is how I played it tonight and what got me the victory. Start a main phase. You can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your hand for free. but you return it to your hand at the end of your opponent's turn. Your turn, when one of your Digimon digivolves into a blue or green Digimon, you can suspend them to gain a memory. If you DNA digivolve, you trash 3 Digivolution cards under your opponent's Digimon. So, if you go into Imperial-Toolbox and you have this, you can gain a memory and then trash sources, so that way you can proc the suspending stuff. So now, I would run 3 of these, but I only have 2. Through 2 of Devas from BT3, the staple memory setter for pretty much any blue and green deck. Memory setter, on play, reveal top 3, add a blue and green Digimon. It's fantastic for this because most of this stuff is blue and green. The only things that it will miss is Shadramon and Dino B and Chimeramon, but everything else is pretty much good to go. You're mostly going to be getting Shadramon and Dino B from VMon searches anyway. But in order to help out with Shadramon and the Wormmon from BT16, I've added 2 more Tamers that are a nice search option and send stuff to trash, also to help out with your partitioning level 5s. I run 2 Analog Youth because search top 3, grab 1, trash the rest, or grab a Digimon, trash the rest. So it sets up for Wormmon and Shadramon or anything else. Also, if one of these guys gets deleted, you do the partition, you suspend him to gain a memory and hatch an egg. It's a lovely, lovely card to have in the deck. Now we run on to the options. I only have 4 options in the deck. We run 3 Invincible Dragon Insect Fusion, the new option from BT16. Main, you may play 1 XV or 1 Stingmon from your hand without paying the cost. Then 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve, and whatever you DNA into will gain blocker and cannot be deleted by battle. So you can have a Dino B or Pyodramon blocker that just can't die in battle, so you just block for free. And even if they find some way to get rid of it anyway, your 5s will have partition. Security, you can play a Vmon or Wormmon from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then you add it to your hand. So it's a great option to have either in your hand or even in security. And then to round it out, we have just a 1-of Ice Wall. Well, you have to have the 1-of Ice Wall. Can't have any more than that. You can run any other option you want in here just to maybe get rid of stuff, like maybe more bombs, like a giant missile or anything else to really get rid of a Digimon that you can't normally do with your Digimon, such as like Tyrant, because it's not affected by Digimon, so you have to use options to out it, or just find a way to beat over it. But I run Ice Wall mainly because it was just what I had at the time. But it does come in handy because it got hit in security when I went against Blue Flare, and they lost 2 memory when they were at 3, so it prevented them from doing their on plays. So anyway, this is what I played at my Evo Cup this week. It performed fantastic. Like I said, it went 2-0 against Deva, Blue Flare, and Mirage Gao. Surprisingly effective and deadly. If you have any suggestions or any changes that you would like to make, or if you do try the deck and you want to see how it works, do let me know. I would love to hear it, because I've seen Imperial-Toolbox has been doing pretty good lately. So if you play it, yeah, just let me know and say how it goes and see what you would tech in to see how it would perform even better. I feel this is really good right now, and it could always be improved upon. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.
Baby!